you're average and you try to achieve your goals and you failed countless times. This video will literally make your dreams into reality if you apply everything in this video in the correct way. And you can achieve basically all of your dreams with 3 main aspects. And let's start with this first one. That's embarrassing that thing's out. Which is shiny object syndrome. Now, for the people who don't know what shiny object syndrome is, it's basically you starting to do something and at the beginning stage of literally doing anything when it comes to, I guess, starting to play a new sport, learning a new hobby, learning something new. Anything is very easy at the start because at the start you're just planning. And then once you get into it, that's when you see the more difficult aspects of it. And what happens when you have shiny object syndrome is when you see the difficult aspects, you just switch what you're doing. There's this diagram to explain. So basically what happens is you start planning and you might be doing a little, and then like you hit a roadblock and you're like, okay, this is too hard, new idea. And then you keep repeating again and again and again. And the main problem with this is you're never going to achieve your goal if you keep switching your goal. When you're playing, let's say football, for example, the goalpost, it doesn't move around in the middle of the game. Well, normally it's not meant to. And if you keep moving the goalpost, you're going to struggle to score. Much rather if you have one single goalpost and you're aiming all towards that one single goalpost, it's easier to score. Because you will have practice on where the goalpost is and how you're going to get it in. That's obviously skills, and there's a bunch. It's probably not the best example to give. But the main thing about this is you need to be persistent. You need to be persistent with what you want. And once you figure out what you want, you need to not switch things. You're going to hit plateaus. Like over here, there's a plateau here. But at the end of a plateau, if you persist, you will get way further in your goals than anybody ever would. If most people keep repeating the cycle, and they keep wasting time, and they keep not making progress. The person who focuses on one thing will always do way better than the person focused on a million things. Now the second one is to embrace discomfort. It's kind of similar to the last one. Basically, anything worth doing is difficult. If you really think about it, nothing that is remotely easy is worth doing. Video games are easy. Watching TikTok is easy. Following random girls on Instagram is easy, but DMing them is hard. You see, basically everything that's worth doing is difficult, and you need to realize that, and you need to be okay with being in an area of discomfort. Because if you're not okay with it, you're gonna get uncomfortable, and when you get uncomfortable, and you let's go back to this, and you switch things, you're not gonna achieve that new goal. The problem isn't the goal. Anybody can achieve any goal if they just keep trying. The problem is you keep restarting. So you go back to level 1. Or you go back to level 0, to be honest. And basically when you stay in an area, you succeed. And this is a diagram. I forgot exactly what this is called. Let me move my face right over there. Basically, when you get a new idea, you have uninformed optimism. Because you believe that it is one of the best things ever. You be like, oh my god, this new business model is going to make me so much money. This new study technique is going to make me so much, save me so much time, blah, blah, blah. And you're very optimistic. But then you start learning more and more about it. And then you have informed pessimism. You're like, okay, this isn't the easy thing that was first posed in like a 30-second reel. And then if you keep going in that informed pessimism stage, you will keep going, and then you'll reach the hopeful realism. You will realize the actual thing that the actual, let's say, business model or study technique is. You will realize all the pros and cons. And this is also known as the valley of despair. And this whole part is the most difficult part. If you can sustain and you can stay persistent with what you're doing, and if the thing actually works, like there's no point in trying to, let's say, do rereading as a study technique and trying to get the best grades out of that. That's a waste of time. But most of the time, people don't have a knowledge gap. They have an execution gap. which is why if you stay in this discomfort for long enough, you will succeed. Eventually, you will hit the informed optimism. You'll figure out things that work, and you will succeed. The easiest way to succeed is to stick with one thing and stick with one thing longer than everybody else. The reason why Kobe Bryant was possibly one of the most hardworking NBA players to exist is because he was persistent. At the start, he probably wasn't that good, but then he kept showing up again and again and again. And even when people called him literally insane, he didn't care. And I'm telling you, he went probably through this exact phase, and he was in this valley of despair area for a pretty long time. But then eventually, he figured out things that worked, and then he succeeded. The easiest way to win at any space in life, whether that's studies, relationships, building a good body, everything can be legit beaten if you just don't have shiny object syndrome. You don't keep switching, and you stick to the discomfort. Everything worth doing is hard. If something is easy and it sounds like the easiest thing ever, there is a problem with the thing, and it's probably not worth doing. Which is why every single guru that tells you studying 2 hours a day is extremely easy, you'll do it tomorrow, or you can build a $10K business by next month. Maybe they could, but most of them can't, but that's a different conversation. But quite literally, they're giving you false expectations, and that's why your expectation levels are so fucked. You expect to get what you want so fast. And because we live in such a world of instant gratification, we're bored, we get TikTok, and we're directly just now entertained. Everything is so near us. We want food, we can literally order and it'll come to us in like 20 minutes. We don't even need to get up and go get the food anymore. Everything is so close and so convenient to us. And we're so used to having this gratification basically come instantaneously that we don't understand that we need to basically embrace discomfort. If we don't, we're not going to be able to do anything worthwhile with our lives. With that, the last point is little is better than nothing. When you feel like doing nothing, stop for a second and do something. This might be awfully simple. Look, if your goal is to read, let's say, 10 pages a day, and you don't really feel like reading, you might just sit down and read one page. The purpose is to show up at the start. At the start, it's going to be hard. As I've said, nothing worth doing is, okay, I've been reading this the whole time, is easy. Damn, that's embarrassing. But nothing worth doing is easy. So to recap, okay, focus on one thing. Success comes to people with persistence, not with people who change ideas every 5 minutes. Embrace discomfort. The value of despair is long. But if you truly want something and you keep persisting and not switching things, you will eventually reach success. And the days where you feel like not doing anything, just stop yourself and do something. If your goal was to read 10 pages, read 1 page. If your goal was to meditate for half an hour, meditate for 3 minutes. It's fine. Because at the start, little is better than nothing. It's better that you do something than you do nothing. Because consistency will lead to persistence. The people who are the most successful in this world, they aren't there because they put a lot of hard work for a short period of time. They're the people who took little bits of hard work over a very long period of time. Because success is 90% just consistency. It's 90% just showing up. Once you master showing up, the rest will be taken care of. Join my Discord for free coaching calls. Bye-bye.